Now I see why it's been so hard to exploit Serrano's lack of attack points. He's got 11 energy per turn. Niels Meyer and Smirnov, however, are struggling. The rest day can't come soon enough for them. They could lose time here. It's actually a good chance for Pavlov. The red jersey is our primary objective with him, and if we get to this 6 node, we can easily secure it by following through over the mountain. Get at least 2 points, if not more. And that confirms it. We move up to 21, and I don't think Sauer is anywhere that they can... may have gone to the front too early here, because I've got to assume that someone's going to jump this mountain and put together a breakaway group. But I need people that can help ride with me, honestly, so it would be better if I went here. Let's my other 2 riders get that catch-up move, and yeah, there's the attack. But only 3 riders decided to make it, so I actually think we're better off here because we can just have Ward and Campbell. Well, we could lose Campbell immediately because this guy's gone bonkers and ridden us past the technical sector. The important thing though is that we kept Herman, and I'm also going to have Pavlov now drop back and connect with the group like so. And nobody wanted to go there, so it all comes out in the wash. And now we've reached the stage where it doesn't make sense for us to make the efficient move here. We've got the rest day coming up, and we need to make sure Group 2 doesn't catch us. So we are going to go through this technical sector. Oh, DeLuca managed to make it to the finish. I think Watson could sprint over. I'll have Pavlov do this either way, because it doesn't really change. It doesn't really change what... Wait, why can't I sprint past... Oh, right, because Ward has a -2, so he can only do that sprint. Yeah, that's the drawback of having a time trial specialization. Orbert doesn't have the attack points left, so... Oh, what? We lost the podium. Well, 9 energy per turn would explain it, because Watson only had 7, so I was operating on the assumption that they would already have to use attack points to mark this move, but since they had 9 energy per turn, they didn't have to, and that meant they had enough to outsprint us. Which means the funny coincidence is that the top 4 on the stage are the top 4 in GC in that exact order. And time for the rest day. Our riders are still looking pretty good, actually. I like our chances of doing something on this follow-up. Had considered breaking away early to get more mountain points with Pavlov, but I actually want to save his attack points so he can be of some use towards the end of the stage. Maybe set up Watson for at least getting into the front group. Oh no, that's no good. We don't have any... We're going to have to stay in the peloton, actually, because that's the only way to keep all of our riders together. There's no slipstream on this move, so there's no point in going yet. Maybe next to move. An interesting decision to make. We can go with one of these counter-attack moves and try and claw the front 2 back. This would be ideal, but everyone would be using their max move. We wouldn't have a lot of speed left, and we would be expected to then take up the rear of the chase. I think it would be better if we went with this move that has the yellow and green jersey in it, because then our riders are fresher to do some work on the downhill, and it's a more cohesive group with more riders willing to pull. Nonetheless, Niels Meyer is going to come across and take the... Nonetheless, Caruso and Meyer are going to get across the line first. Chris Ward is able to bring us over the line. Didn't do as much damage to the general classification as I would have thought. There was only a couple of tenths separating each group. Have to go all the way down to 24th because before some serious time gaps emerged. So It remains pretty much the same up top. Big attack to start this stage. I think this time I will send Pavlov with it, because even if we just sit on their wheels, a couple of extra points can shore up our defenses in the mountain jersey. Or they could just not relay at all, forcing me to do all the work, but at least I get the 3 points from it if they let me stay in front. Absolute mongrels, these two. What was even the point of them breaking away? They still don't want to do any relays. This is another one of those stages where everyone who should be contesting GC has gone into the relay early. Usually that means the pace is too unrelenting to do anything. Unfortunately, we are one node short of being able to go with those two. And that includes Niels Meyer, so he's about to take the yellow jersey. Thinking about it, Watson should recover all of his attack points either way, so there's really no harm in us contesting this sprint. Of course, the sprint would only be for third at best, because Niels Meyer has run away with it. But yeah, we can use our 5 attack points here and we'll recover everything because Watson's maximum is 23 right now. And no one else really wanted to go after that, so we get a podium finish on a stage. See, unlike Caleb Ewan, Herman actually cares about the minor placings and giving it his all. He was inspired by Herbert Huffenpuff, who would famously always sprint even if he was doomed to finish outside the top 10. What a trooper that guy was. Shame about his energy gel allergy. I was about to say that this needs to be ridden as a transitional stage with a big mountain day to come, but Albrecht said no. And I have a feeling we're not going to get Campbell back this time. No, there's no motivation from this team that's in the relay with us. I tried to pick up the pace to give them the incentive, but it didn't happen. Oh, now you start trying. After the peloton has just gone super hard in a technical sector to drop you for good. Though I actually think this one's going to the breakaway. They're out of energy and attack, but they've cleared the final hurdle of the day with the pack still very much trailing us. No one can get over this hill on this turn. Ah, they got! There was this massive move that actually managed to shell the peloton on a flat. How'd they manage to do that? We can go with them at least. Of course, Ward doesn't need to, and I don't think he'd be of much use up there if he did make the split. So yeah, Watson can just take advantage of that surprise break, and he can still take second if he wants, and have enough attack points left over that they should all refill before the next stage. I'm actually going to do that. Pretty happy with that outcome. Complete surprise, but a real chance for us to put pressure on the podium. So stage 5 was sort of a false mountain stage. Despite its difficulty on paper, most of it was front loaded. This, on the other hand, is going to be a real test. Worst case scenario though, we fall to 5th in the GC and stay there for the rest of the tour. That's not good for us. Sauer is up the road already. Problem is, Pavlov does not have the strength in him to launch a counter right now. Looks like we're going to get bailed out though, because Malik and Bahayev went over the top of him, and now the most Sauer can get from this climb is 2 points. I'm expecting a very disorganized peloton now, so Pavlov and Watson are going to have to move up earlier than I would have liked. I would have liked to have saved Watson for the final climb, but we're going now. What I'll do with Pavlov is that I will have him attack across to get the 3 points. I will not follow through with that move. I will have him drop back to... So as we move into this 73 node climb, here is where we stand. Pavlov and Ward can't do anything, so only Watson's going to be in P1. Wagner and Horn, realistically, they're the two contesting the overall victory now. Niels Meyer did throw the cat in amongst the pigeons, but I think he's about to be exposed here. Well, I said that Meyer was about to be exposed, but no, he's actually going to take it on. He opens up the attack. I feel like this is just delaying the inevitable, because if he doesn't lose the jersey here, he should in a couple of days, and I can't actually reach that 7 node, so it would be better for me to take the benefit of the slab peloton for now. Meyer continuing to go above and beyond what I expected from him, and Serrano's managed to break clear before we had a chance to attack over him. We're going to have to go with whoever this guy is. I have no idea. Well, he is able to get us to the 8, and even though that's a max move, I'm going to have to go for it, because the alternative is getting stuck down here, and Wagner's going to win the stage. And time gap is, well, Meyer managed to make same time as Horn, so I believe he keeps the jersey as a result of that. We are going to catch Weiss, but we are going to end up a little bit off the pace. Serrano's going to overtake us for 5th, even though I thought that this type of hill would expose him. My calculations were a little bit wrong. We are staying fractionally ahead of Serrano for the time being, and as you might expect on a difficult stage like this, there were casualties. We're not going to get a breather for the next 3 days either in this Gasmea tour. The cobble stage is up next. Long, only a single cobble sector, but Niels Meyer may yet have to pay the toll. And then again, maybe not. There has been a few testing moves along the way, but you can see everyone's got more energy than they started with, except for Campbell. And even he hasn't lost any energy. And in fact, this cobble sector ended up being an anti-climax. No one wants to ride through it. Oh, never mind. There's the move. Can anyone make it to that crest? Okay, someone did. But the question is, can Herman make it there? I think in this case, we have to go with the larger group, if we can, because there's a greater chance that more riders will relay with that, rather than the alternative. I think, actually, in this case, I'd want to go all the way behind Sean Watson, because I get a feeling Watson might try to attack past everyone in this Splatas. What was that? I'm supposed to be fluent in English and I just invented an entirely new word. What about the stage win? Do Caruso hold out? No. I don't know if I recover all of my attack points if I go for 2nd, but I can probably take 3rd here, right? Yeah, I'll do it. Ah, never mind. Wagner sprinted ahead past me anyway, so there was no point. Meanwhile, then there was 4, and Niels Meyer, far from paying the price, has extended his gap. And, yes, we do claim those first 5 points. As long as Pavlov finishes this tour, I don't think there's much risk of him losing the red jersey anymore. So, another day, another climb. A lot of jostling happening already. Actually, I could take the peloton out 1 more node even. And ultimately, it did not prevent an attack from happening because of the nature of a climb like this. But the thing is, since there's no slipstream to be had either, it doesn't really matter where we move with Ward, especially if we get attacked over in the end. I'm going to go to here. And yeah, that was what I expected. Wagner had way more left in him, and Watson's just going to have to follow. Oh, Niels is playing it very tactically here. He's trying to ensure that no one can attack over him, but he's also trying not to burn all of his resources in one go. And now he peels back behind. I don't really care. I don't want to contest the stage win anyway, so I might have been better off playing the repositioning game. But then Horn and Wagner would have just repositioned behind me anyway because they got to act after me, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. We still get a podium out of it because Maya did not feel like sprinting. It's been a very brutal Gasmea tour as a whole, and we still have 7 stages including several mountain passes to go. Will Mills Maya hang on? That's the big question, because I've been predicting that he will get bonked every single stage for the last few days, and it hasn't happened yet. If he can get to the rest day, he might just do this.